Hey there! Welcome to another episode of Fremdly Tips. My name is Nathaniel, and if you're new here, this is the channel that is all about technology, gadgets, and showing you cool ways of how to use them. So consider subscribing so you can follow along with my journey on this YouTube journey here and see what kind of gadgets and tips and tricks I might show you. So today this video is all for my iOS users out there. A lot of you guys are probably frustrated about your battery life and want to improve it. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks of what I do when somebody comes to me and asks me to help improve their battery life on their iPhone. So follow along, and hopefully these tips and tricks might help extend your battery life throughout the day and give you a little more juice in your iPhone. Okay, first and foremost, check out this cool Batman I got for a gift. It has a flashlight. Batman. Anywho, he'll just sit over here while we do this thing. So, whenever somebody's asking me about iOS and needing help on how to optimize their battery and just get more juice out of it, I always do a few things right off the bat. First and foremost, you're always going to want to head into settings and check things out. So what I do is I head to battery, and you want to see your battery usage. So when it loads up, this is to be key. This has been in recent iOS updates that kind of just tell you a whole lot. So you can look at the last 24 hours, and actually if you hit this this clock right here, it actually tells you more. It tells you about screen on time and in the background. That is crucial to know to help solve your problem here about what might be eating at your battery. I like to do it in 5 days because 24 hours, it might be one-offs. And then once you look here, you can see kind of over the last 5 days what has really been eating at your battery. So this is my wife's phone, and I've kind of been optimizing it here and there, so a few of the big players are kind of already hidden. But for this example, Facebook is 3 hours on screen, so that means she's been using it a whole lot with the screen on, and it's been running in the background for 1.8 hours, so that's quite a bit, hence why it's using most of her battery. Look down here at Kindle, Instagram, Flipboard, kind of the usual suspects. And you kind of go down the list, but the big ones are up here. So Facebook by far is one of the biggest battery killers for both Android and iOS. Just the Facebook app is just loaded with so much crap. So anyways, how you can solve it after you know what the culprit is, there's a few things you can do. When you go over to back to settings, you scroll down to the offending apps. Let's scroll down and let's find Facebook. What you can do here is there's a few things. Location is kind of a crucial one that you don't want it to drain your battery all the time. So I've already changed it from always to while using the app because I know she likes to post or tag herself in certain locations. So she does want to have locations. But for those who don't care, never is a good option. The next ones that are kind of crucial are background app refresh. I would definitely uncheck that so that way it doesn't keep running in the background. And that's kind of the big one, is the background app refresh. There's really not a whole lot else I can really do that won't just cripple this app. But for example, one of the other ones that was really kind of killing her was Kindle. So let's find Kindle. You can also disable cellular data. That also kind of prevents it from having to run without it being on Wi-Fi. That's another secret to trying to do it. So one of the other things you can do is if you go under General, scroll down to Background App Refresh, you can start going through the list of things here that you don't want to run in the background that are not crucial. So as in my previous review, I showed about the one blocker app. That one is great for Safari, so I leave that unchecked. But a whole bunch of these other ones, we don't need to be running in the background. So let's turn off Atom, Audible. Baby doesn't need to be running in the background. Candy Crush does. Does she like to play that? Chip Flame, nope. Design nope. So basically you just go down the list and just start unchecking ones that you don't want to run in the background that might be draining your battery here and there. So these are kind of ones that she doesn't need to be checking on all the time. And by unchecking as many of them as we can, it kind of helps overall just stop the CPU on the phone from running in the background. So I'm just going to uncheck that. Basically, the more aggressive you can, the better results you're going to get. A few other things that you should consider checking into if you're running into issues with battery life is make sure you're on the latest software. Apple usually will always send out updates whenever there's something that's there, and usually it patches things and helps secure your phone, but also helps with battery. One other thing that I really should recommend is under the apps, you should actually update your apps as much as you can. Because usually app developers are fixing different bugs that might be draining your battery, as well as also giving you some new features that overall can help the life of your phone. One thing that an engineer at Apple actually came out a couple years ago and said there's a big no-no in terms of battery life. One myth being debunked is swiping to remove apps. That is a myth. It does not save you on battery. But the reason why it does not save on battery on iPhone is because the operating system is so intelligent and so smart. What it does is whenever you're not using an app, it actually puts it in a suspended mode. So it actually just keeps it in sleep. So after a couple seconds, after not using the app, the iPhone automatically puts it to sleep. So therefore, it doesn't drain precious battery. Now, when you double tap and you click on it, it awakens it and brings it back in its state of what it was. By closing the app and having to then open it, actually makes it have to run the CPU at all over again to try to power it back up. So it actually helps. It actually drains your battery more than it actually helps. So that's something I've been noticing. A lot of people that have iPhones are always swiping away their apps and thinking that it actually saves battery, when in fact it does the complete opposite. So I would say that's a big no-no. Do not do that if you have an Android or an iPhone. Another option to save battery, if you're trying to really squeeze out everything, is go under Accounts and Passwords under Settings, and then go under to your Apps and Websites. Oh no, sorry, no, I did the bad. And go to your Fetch New Data. Under Fetch New Data, you'll see all the different calendars, email addresses, and everything else that you're running on your phone. I would first turn off Push, because what Push essentially is doing is it's constantly checking the email servers, saying, is there something new, is there something new, something new, and if there's not, it's constantly just pinging the servers. Fetch is probably your best bet for almost all of them, and the longer you can prolong the amount of times you want your different calendars or emails to fetch, the better it saves on battery. So I have it set here for hourly, because 15 minutes and 30 minutes was kind of crazy. Now, if you can obviously override this if you go into the actual app, like the email app or the calendar app, and refresh it, it will automatically fetch. So you're not really crippled by that. But I would set this up so that way it's a secret way of saving battery in the background. Another tip and trick that you should consider looking into is on the settings area, go under Privacy, Location Services, and kind of like with the battery thing, start looking through here for offenders that you don't actually want to have ping your location, because the more things that are pinging your location, which you can tell if something's pinging your location by that arrow on the top right, the more battery is to be taking up for that. So look through here and find offending ones that you don't really care about or want to really ping you. So ESPN, there's no point in doing that. I would say turn you off. Let's see, what other ones can we kill? Groupon, always, nope, while using the app. That'll kill that. Macy's, while using the app. So there's a bunch of ones I'm finding here that have automatically turned on. That OneDrive I'll leave on, because that one's syncing the photos on this phone. So that way it actually tags the location on it. And yes, I know about the privacy issues about that, but I actually have it scrub the location when I download the thing. I'll do a video about that later, about how to actually go about doing that to protect yourself and your kids. But for now, we're going to go down and we're going to keep killing apps that we don't want to be checking location in the background. So pretty much be as ruthless as you can while using. That's fine. While using. Yep. So if anything, this should actually help save some battery. And at the very bottom, it shows you kind of what the indicators are. Finally, one other thing to consider, if you are in a pinch with battery issues and you really need to conserve battery, say you're on a big trip and you need to really save battery, I would really go into battery and turn on low power mode. Everything I was kind of showing you in terms of turning off background app refreshes, automatic downloads, and visual effects, this all happens when you hit the low power mode. It'll turn your battery or the icon to yellow, and it basically helps conserve battery life on your phone for as long as you can until you get back to a charger to a healthy power. So I hope this video was helpful in how to improve your iPhone or iPad's battery life. If it was, don't forget to hit like down below and comment with which one of these tricks you didn't know about and now you're surprised at and will actually try out. If you have any other tricks that I didn't mention, please leave that also in the comments. I'd love to learn what you do to help save battery life. And yes, you could just turn out the phone, I guess, to save battery. But in any case, I actually have two videos over here on my left, your right, that I have handpicked that I think you will probably like, that you should really check out. If you really like what I'm doing here, consider sharing this video as well as also any other videos I have. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of this month, so help me out by reaching my goal. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, and take care, guys.